What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of U4 Fate Strange Fake. This is episode 7, and with me, as always, I have Blue Spade.
Yeah. Well, of course, we're once again getting introduced to a brand new master alongside her. I could say two different servants at this point, because
Yeah.
okay, so and plus we're also introduced to one of the Einspurn homunculuses, but it's not. It didn't really turn out the. She's not someone that we expected it to be, which she reveals herself to be Ishtar. For people who know that character from Fate Grand Order was originally who originally looked like Rin Tokasaka, but now this Ishtar has possessed like the Einspurn homunculus.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty interesting that, Ishtar is in this, but in just a different body.
Yeah. So this pretty much this focuses on this new master, and like her name is Haruhi, coming up
Yeah. Well,
against
well and technically, I guess, I don't know, at least it seems like she has, like two servants because, she has Ishtar tagging along with her, and then she also has this, I don't even know what this thing really is, but we know it's a Berserker class servant.
it's a I don't know, it's a weird golem type of
Yeah.
something. I don't know. She doesn't really say what. Obviously, it's Berserker, but we don't know the identity of this thing. Um.
Hmm.
So yeah. So like she both her and Ishtar go up against Alcades and his master. And of course Alcades is taken aback after he finds out that the Einspurn homunculus is being possessed by a goddess, and he attacks her. But she, like her fighting ability is literally like almost above and beyond of what Alcades can do, because
Yeah.
I mean, technically she was an archer class in the previous iteration, because like she can just like literally just summon like beams of light against all of her opponents. And then at the
Oh,
same
that's the
time.
other thing. I guess I didn't. I'm curious about, is she still an archer class, or is she like a?
Well, okay, I think she's a berserker too, but
Oh,
it's no, I don't know. It. I'm trying to keep track of like who, which class of servant is who, especially like what was
yeah.
it, Sigma's servant, which he doesn't really. He doesn't really just say what the actual name of the servant is. Like I
I
don't think
I
he
thought at one point he mentioned it being a lancer, but
something like
I don't
that.
I
But
don't see how. But yeah.
yeah, and then he deliberately lies, saying that his servant is Charlie Chaplin. I
Yeah, I
mean,
thought that was pretty hilarious.
yeah,
Uh,
there's no way. I don't know, like like an old like
I mean, they
comedian.
did make William Shakespeare a servant, but I don't know. I guess that's a little bit
I
more
mean, Chaplin's.
believable.
I mean, Chaplin's a stretch as to being. Well, I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
considered a lancer.
what class would you even have Charlie Chaplin as a, um, but yeah, so he basically, he pretty much, yeah, he lies at first and tells, his he ends up talking with Aika and Saber, and tells them that his servant is Charlie Chaplin.
I mean, Richard just immediately, just believes this, and Ayaka is just dumbfounded as to you know, as to Richard just easily accepting that lie. Uh,
Yeah, well, and earlier on too, Assassin was spying on him, and his servant is able to, I guess, know when Assassin is actually watching him and when she's not.
yeah.
So
So obviously Sigma
yeah,
is like the only person who can actually see his servant, and nobody else can. Um, so yeah, but we do go back to the fight between Alcades and Ishtar. At the same time, I think our Haruhi is um is facing off against Alcades' master, which he threatens to shoot her on several occasions, but um Ishtar ends up saving her at one point, and then it gets to the point where she literally summons the true berserker, which is of course that giant golem with a tail thing. Uh, she
Yeah.
and Forza, she commands this servant to basically just destroy everything in the vicinity. But
Yeah, so it seems like I guess she has some kind of a grudge against mages. Maybe like we kind of get a brief flashback of her, um, where I think it looks like her parents are dead,
mhm.
and she said something about like what was it like? Did she was saved by was it Ishtar or somebody like that she was saved by her or something?
Yeah,
Uh, yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It seems like she has some kind of definitely has some kind of a grudge against the mages.
yeah, and of course um, like I said, she uses one of her command spells to command Berserker just basically just destroy everything, but not before. I think it was Francesca or like the male version of Francesca, basically just stopping the entire fight in its tracks by just like setting everybody in that area in some kind of like blackened zone sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah, he uses some kind of an illusion magic or something.
Yeah, like almost making like some kind of like I don't know, like some big shot. Like I don't know what kind of zone that he created. Um, Basically, he just forces everybody to just to cease fighting and then withdraw soon after. Um, and then we also catch up like with Jester, like confronting I think what was it Tsubaki I think. Um,
Yeah,
and then what was it? I think something else happened.
it seems like he's still like trying to hide in his child form. I guess uh, I don't know. Like I guess he's like I guess that way nobody will know it's him.
Yeah, I
But
think obviously he's gonna make his move. But like I don't know like what his reason is to go after Sabaki, but
yeah, maybe he's just like trying to gain her trust, lower her defenses, and then he can try to maybe kill her when she's not. I'm not sure, but
yeah,
like maybe that's what he's trying to do. But yeah, we do go back to the scene with Ayaka, Saber, and Sigma, where basically like Sigma reveals a little bit more about like who he's working for, that he's like working for the U.S. government. Uh,
yeah, and then
and
and of course he agrees to join the alliance with Richard and Ayaka alongside.
yeah, because he basically like says like if you're fine with me, the fact that I'm pretty much using you and you're using me, then I'll agree. We can have like a formal alliance or something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was an interesting episode. I guess they find. I mean, at this point, I think they introduced every single servant in the show. I guess.
Well,
So
and
far.
they also specify, I guess, that at least according to Sigma, that there's 13 servants and masters in this.
Yeah, I think. Well, there's like what? Yeah, 13 servants. Half of them are like false servants, and the other half is true servants. But the only exception with Saber
That's the
being
really confusing part to me.
yeah.
Um,
So like okay, so like earlier in the week I did share like a bit of a chart with you about like
yeah.
which faction uh you know goes to where and then
Yeah, and these are only the servants and masters that have been introduced so far, not the ones that come up in this episode, which is Ishtar and uh was it Haruhi or
yeah, Haruhi
yeah.
and that golem berserker servant that she summons. Um I don't think we've learned Hippolyta's master in the show so far, as far as I
Yeah,
know.
I don't
Uh
think we've been introduced to her master yet.
yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, like we know like which character works with who, like which is the true servant, which is the real servant, which it's I mean you're gonna have to like learn a lot of stuff just to understand who's working with who, and then like we don't know Flat's motivation, whether or not he's gonna interact with Ayaka or anybody else in the show. Um, Considering that like he is technically working with you know with Waver in the clock tower to some extent.
Yeah, and Flat really hasn't done much of anything so
No,
far.
I mean obviously he is gonna have to come. come across Ika and some of the others, and eventually. Um, but as of right now, I don't even know what um, this version of Berserker that he's using to um, I don't know, like yeah, I don't. It's like yeah, I don't even know it's like his real true form. Like all we know is that he disguises himself as a watch, and then he can transform himself into other people uh, to hide his
Mhm.
true form or something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good episode for the most part. It was interesting how we get to see Ishtar in a different body because of course, I'm sure people are just used to seeing her as Reen, considering that's how she looks in the Fate Grand Order. Uh, but yeah, that was interesting, and the master she had was like she was pretty interesting too, and yeah, I mean, they just kind of get right down to fighting Archer's master, and and yeah, I mean, it's going in an interesting direction. I'm just concerned this just the fact this is a shorter series and there's just so much that it seems to be setting up. And considering the novel series is still ongoing, it just feels like I don't know we're just getting like only like a fraction of the story.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I guess it'll be interesting to see where the season ends, like at what point, and if it's going to end on like some kind of a cliffhanger or what. But I guess we'll see. But yeah, I don't have anything else to say about the episode, though. I don't know if you have anything else to say.
Yeah, it was an interesting way to introduce Ishtar into the show, just not in the manner that we thought just not in the form that we were used to seeing her in. With many people in the Fate community know her as like a different version of Rin Tosaka. But of course, like there's is it there is that her twin version of her. I forgot her name. Um,
Oh, Erish Kagal?
Eris Kigal, yeah. Which she's also like a Rin faced servant, but
Yeah.
now like I guess in a way to differentiate with her, uh, in this version because like obviously like at this timeline like Tosaka exists, so it'd be really weird if they have Rin involved in this version of the Holy Grail War. So it makes sense as to why she's possessing the
I,
Iceberg homunculus.
I feel like the best we can hope for is probably just a cameo appearance from her. I kind of doubt she's really going to be involved. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I guess anything's possible. But as far as we know at this point, like Rin was just at the clock tower.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean I think the only cameos that we've really seen are characters we've seen in the Lord El Malloy
yep.
series.
Yeah, I thought at first that maybe we saw her in one of the earlier episodes in a picture that Waver had in his office, but I think it was somebody else.
Yeah, I think Gray is like sort of the only notable character what we've seen, but she doesn't have any
Yeah.
talking lines in the show.
I think that's probably the best we can hope for, honestly, when it comes to appearances from characters from like Stay Night, or like Rin, for instance. Like maybe we'll see her in a picture or maybe just in the background or something,
Yeah,
or she'll say like one line or something like that.
yeah,
I kind of doubt she's going to be like that involved.
yeah. I mean, I don't really think that she's gonna be involved in this Holy Grail war in some form. Maybe she'll be some kind of advisor as to Waver in a later episode, but yeah,
Well, there is that the I guess you'd say the lore from Stay Night that her and Waver dated for a while. So I mean, I guess it's possible she could appear in that sense.
yeah,
You know,
I don't know. Yeah, that came as a shock to me when she had some kind of relationship with Waver of sorts. But
yeah,
yeah, but obviously, like this show, yeah, at least in a sense, does take place after the original Fate Stay Night series. Due to the fact that Gilgamesh is in in this show, and he can't be in like two places at once.
yeah. Um, yeah, but I don't have anything else to say though. I don't know if you have anything else to say about.
Yeah, it was a decent episode. I did like it. Yeah, I'm hoping for more interactions with a lot of the other characters, and hopefully we'll get to get more involvement with some of the other characters. Like, what was it? Hansa from the Holy Church. We haven't even seen him for a while, and then I'm really
Yeah,
hoping we can see a little bit more Flat for once because he just all we've seen is just him walking around like I guess doing his own investigating alongside Jack the Ripper of what's going on in the Holy Grail in this version of Holy Grail War.
Yeah, just the problem is there's just so many master servant combinations and so many different characters it has to, to try to give screen time to. Whereas in Stay Night, there was it was only like, since it was only like 7 servants and masters, it's like, it could more easily give you like, some of each of those of characters. Whereas here it's just like there's so many characters to try to keep track of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that all being said, guys, until next time, we will see you all later.